Hello and welcome back, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and this is the next build that I was essentially given to try out. This comes courtesy of, on YouTube he goes by the name of Insert Username, but on the Discord server it's Axendur, so thank you very much for being willing to share. So here's what I came up with. The Arcana in general are Bouncing Blaze, Wavefront, Mentis Imperium, and Toxic Bolus. Pardon me. So I wasn't given any other criteria, so I'm going to go with the Tempo Robe because we've got two things that are going to disable mobs. So I figured being able to have those off of cooldown as much as possible would be a big help. And then we have multiple elements, so Captain's Ring would be nice and helpful, and we'll hopefully find a good Electric Arcana while we're out there. So, let's go ahead and get cracking on this, shall we? You give me my coins. I don't really care where I start, so let's just see what happens. Zeal, Freya, and the twins. Alright, I can work with this. Boy, glad I chose to go that direction. That wasn't a complete waste of time or anything. Alright, so one of the issues that I'm seeing with this particular build is even though I love the basic and the dash, the two standards are not exactly what one would call, like, grade A boss killer material or anything. And perhaps that's the point. But just in my personal opinion, I find that I'm less worried about things for dealing with mobs as I am about things that are more general purpose. So I'm hoping that by the end of this run, I will have either A, changed my mind about some of these, or B, just found something that I really enjoy working with alongside these things. Now that having been said, I completely understand where we're coming from on these. Mentis Imperium is definitely good against mobs, make no mistake. It essentially disables an entire group by turning one of my enemies into a friend, and then it draws the attention of a bunch of other guys around it, so again, I get it. Hello, Cremire of Undermine.
Not from Undermine. What are you talking about?
If there were any other issue I had with the build in general, it's that poison just doesn't tick up fast enough. I mean, I would like an Electric Arcana. I don't think that's asking too much. Alright, before I buy anything else, I'm going to... Oh, of course, everything is to the south. Near. Before I spend any money on that, hey, shoot that guy. Or don't. I guess the knight has a much smaller frame window for his attacks, so... what did I expect? Now, make no mistake, I understand the purpose behind the chosen arcana. I just would personally choose different things. Here we go. What do we have here? Yeah, I don't have any movement arcana. Shut up. Yeah, I wouldn't call Dagger of Midas great, but it's... well, no, Cabby's raw chocolate is probably about the best thing here, actually. And I'd say at this point in the game, the Dagger of Midas is coming up a little too early to be effective. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Prismatic Vambrace. I forget what that does. So it's just a nice defense. Alright, I'll live with that. And considering what I'm doing with my build, it would have been smarter to buy Earthquake Axe, but oh well. Mistakes get made, it's just part of the game. Moving on, Chief. And of course, the big guys can't be affected by Charm. I guess that would make the spell a little too good. Now, let me say something about the Arcana that I chose. And that is that I am not the biggest fan of the idea that... yeah, just beat the crap out of each other. It's a very passive build, I must say. I don't really have to get involved all that much. Just charm one of the enemies, and then I'm just gonna stay back. That's what you call a curb stomp. Alright, like I was saying, let me say something negative about one of the Arcana that I chose now, which is that I don't like... Good morning, birds. How are you? Always gotta be the center of attention, don't you? But as... I don't like how... I want to call it Petal Chaser, even though I know that's not the name of it. I don't like how Razor Petals has that effect where it'll just where it draws the enemy back in towards you. Like that last hit, like the knockback on it just completely reverses, and it's just awkward. I like everything else about Razor Petals except that. So I suppose while using Razor Petals, the combo would be throw out a Razor Petal, and then throw out a Bouncing Blaze at the end, just to make sure that the enemy doesn't get... Thank you, Wavefront. Didn't we have this room in the last floor? I'm very highly confused by all this. That's a maybe. Ooh, cinnamon dots. This is gonna be a very sweet run. Tee hee. And I'm generally okay with Glove of Midas. We'll take that.
Oh, good day, sir!
There's the possibility that I will want to partake in a little bit of a card-based gambling. Not that indifferent from buying Magic the Gathering booster packs. Oops. Wait, she just does not want to help me level up my stuff at all. Matching very closely how things tend to work with her in the first place, I might add. Alright, well, that's lame. Alright, well this isn't going too bad so far. We're probably gonna have to hold on to that because Iris simply does not want to offer me the upgrades. Again, not that indifferent for me, but I know a lot of you are saying, wow, it's really weird that she doesn't offer you the upgrades. Like, even if you're using Bouncing Blaze, or even if I'm using Bouncing Blaze, I tend to be able to get the upgrades pretty quickly, and then just going, yeah, must be nice that Iris is willing to help you. Because Iris fucking hates me. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Airborne Slam. Yeah, not the biggest fan or Heroic Leap, my bad. It's not great, but at the same time, it's something. At least until I get my good electric. Which, knowing Iris, will happen right around the year 2157. Like, I don't know if I just have particularly bad RNG for things like that, but I oftentimes find that Iris just has no interest in helping me out, like, at all. So I'm curious if anyone else has that problem, where Iris just has no interest in doing anything to help your run. Because from what others have said on the Discord and on YouTube comments, it sounds like I'm like the only one. Oops. My shot got blocked by a goddamn candelabra. What the hell? No, see, with a pile driver, you're supposed to turn the enemy upside down so that you smash their head into the ground. That's how that's supposed to work. I'll be back once I know whether or not I have enough money to afford that. No, whoops. For what it's worth, with the Hand of Midas, I should be making plenty of bank to afford this. Well, to afford that, I should say. My aim is awful. How many times can one guy miss with Mentis Imperium? Okay, well, I mean, I can upgrade Wavefront finally. I already have things that are holding enemies back. And even though it's nice to see a decent Electric Arcana, the problem that I have with Magnetic Breakers is that I have a run that's using an ability that can negate knockback. I'm probably gonna buy it anyway. I just want to make sure I've properly reviewed all my options. And I'm not leaving anything major behind. Another thing is that, again, while Magnetic Breakers does great against enemies that can be readily knocked back, it does basically diddly-dick against bosses. So it's not exactly what one would call a win-win situation for me. As you can see, the game plan quickly falls apart once the enemies are no longer capable of being knocked back. So, I'll take it, but I'm really hoping to find something better. Also, I don't really find the robe upgrade for tempo to be all that fascinating. So we're just gonna call that good. Oh, what have we here? See, at this point, Cartographer's Quill would be about a 12% damage upgrade. Definitely not horrible. I would hope for better, but not horrible. And Sparrow Windstone is another good option because I am working mostly with projectiles right now. I say mostly because we still have the big old pile driver. Oh hey, she's actually willing to upgrade Mentis Imperium, that's different. So Mentis Imperium now upgraded. Oh, there you go. I mean, sorry, but at some point or another I gotta take you down too. Alright, so kind of stuck with Magnetic Breakers. Not the end of the world, but I would definitely like to have a better Electric Arcana. Though it works great in this room, I'm not gonna lie. Curb stomp. There we go. So I suppose an argument can be made that the mobs are the more dangerous part of this game, and the bosses are just kind of whatever. But I personally think that's kind of a reductive thought process, because it's not like the bosses aren't dangerous. I've had more than enough runs ended for me because of Atlas, I'll tell you that much. And that's also why I tend to prefer Arcana that are a bit more general purpose. But things that kind of force me to rely on the idea that enemies are going to suffer knockback and whatnot, those don't help very much against bigger enemies and bosses, so... Sorry. Those enemies also can't be affected by status effects, so Char... Like Char, they can be poisoned, of course, but... So, as a general rule of thumb, things that rely on enemies being able to be properly hit-stunned, I don't tend to like them because I know that they're not going to be just generally useful. Situationally useful, sure, grant that for sure. You got anything I want? Not really. It's alright, it was worth looking. There we go. Alright. I think we're more or less set now. Now, one thing I can say that I am kind of digging about Mentis Imperium, though, is that it does do actually pretty decent damage. I do have the Glove of Midas, so that can help offset the higher shop prices. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. We all know how I feel about doing more damage. Speaking of more damage, I also just finished making a high ninja sword build in Monster Hunter Rise that, at some point or another, I wouldn't mind showing off. That involves getting my capture card to work properly. Like, the only thing it's missing is the proper... Ow, 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 ow. There we go. Looking good. I mean, I like it, but not really in fitting with the build. Yeah, well, why don't you guys just go ahead and take care of that for me? See, that's another thing I don't get about magnetic breakers, is why the effective range on it seems so inconsistent. Sometimes I'll launch it and it'll go flying across the screen and knock everything back. Sometimes I launch it and it just does nothing. I saw that coming, I tried to dash, but it's too little too late, I'm afraid. Yeah, I saw that coming. See, that time magnetic breakers did exactly what I wanted it to do. Because sometimes I throw it out and it like dissipates immediately. I don't understand. Ooh, shark mask. What does that do? I mean, I don't know. The idea is that I have a more utility-based signature instead of a damage-based one. So it taking longer for me to reach full signature charge actually seems like a bad thing right now. Because I'm not really using it for damage, I'm using it for control. So, no shark mask for me. Increases all damage dealt slightly. So that's a maybe, although I'd almost rather just have Surefire Rocket. That would make it so I could use the Shark Mask. But again, I'm not using this for damage. Thanks, controller, that's exactly the direction I pressed. Hey there, got anything fun for me? I see glass cannon there, and I'm kind of thinking that looks like a snack. Because again, we all know how I feel about doing more damage. I have Dice of the Nemesis, so I don't want to lower my critical hit chance. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Worst thing that can happen is I fail to run, and it's, well, I wouldn't call that the worst problem in the world. Curse you for not being at the right angle for me to hit you in the face with that. Oh, come on, how many enemies are there in this room? Stop splitting apart into tiny little bits and bots. Alright, that was just a bad situation. Fortunately, I was able to find a way out of it. Where am I going? So because of how the portals are working right now, I actually have to walk all the way back over there. It's not like it's the longest walk in the world, but if I were a speedrunner, I'd be pissed right now. I'm already feeling a little annoyed. That was for Cartographer's Quill, by the way. That wasn't just a I got lost thing. Alright, there, looking good. Okay, so thanks to Dice of the Nemesis, what I really like now is something that will improve my critical hit chances. That would be nice. I mean, otherwise the run is going fine. I mean, minus a particular female artist not really wanting to do a whole lot to help me out. But again, I get the feeling that that's just me. I'm not sure if anyone else has that same problem. Not getting much out of Iris as far as health is concerned. Also, you liking that 22 damage per fireball? Evening gloves. This also means I can just hold the button down instead of 3 taps, which again, not the biggest problem in the world. It's very much just first world problems at that point, just complaining about nothing. Yeah, why does it stop like that? I don't get it. I'm sure it has something to do with with its proximity to walls, but sometimes I use it near a wall and it just acts normally. So is magnetic breakers just luck based, or am I an idiot? See, if I'm going with the usual Occam's razor thing, I'm just assuming I'm an idiot. This is the part in which I suspect if I go to the Wizard of Legend wiki page and actually look up magnetic breakers, it's just gonna call me out by name and go, yeah, you're just a fucking idiot. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Dice of the Nemesis. Mag Sphere is nice, but I mean, whatever. I'm gonna use it about as much as I'm using Heroic Leap, so what the hell. And while it doesn't seem like much, I'd like to point out that doing 8 per tick with with razor pedals is also really good considering how many ticks it gets. And that takes its damage out of the range of okay to really good. These are all technical terms, by the way, you must understand. I mean, okay, there's a key. Yay. Okay. I'm just gonna hold off. No reason to spend the money if there's nothing I'm gonna get for it that's really all that useful. Thunder. Owie. I made it stupid. Oh hey, Dice of the Nemesis triggered. Sweet. Thank you, Dice of the Nemesis. I'm good. By the way, as you guys well know, I tend to play a second game alongside Wizard of Legend, at least while I'm working a normal job, because I don't always just want to do Wizard of Legend. I get the feeling it gets boring for you guys. But I'm also curious, what secondary game do you want me to play? Like, what sounds interesting? And I have a good number of things that I was running. The bloodless playthrough of Ritual of the Night. That was looking for. Obviously, Mega Man. But then there were a lot of other roguelike games I was playing too, like Dandy Ace is one that I had started playing and I didn't really do much with as of yet. And then Skull the Hero Slayer, which the only reason why I stopped playing that, it's less because of... It's more so because I'm just noticing that I'm not very good at that game. Like, I still haven't beaten a run of Skull the Hero Slayer, just to give you guys an idea. I love that game, but I get the feeling it doesn't love me as much as I love it. And one-sided relationships are never good for your self-esteem. But then again, then again, that's a very minor point because I still love Dead Cells. I haven't beaten 4 boss cells on that game yet. Which, that's not saying much. That's saying, oh, you haven't beaten the game on near maximum difficulty? What a loser. I don't think a lot of people are saying this. I mean, yeah, 4 is before. The only difference between 4 boss cells and 5 is a pathway to another level. Otherwise, it's the same challenge. There we go. Not bad. Alright, so Axendur, I have to say, I don't dislike your run. It worked out just fine. there are some changes that I would personally make to it because I prefer my control methods come from something other than relying on enemy knockback equations. But it worked out just fine. I had no problem with it, and hey, it's always fun to work with something outside of your norm. So, thank you for the suggestions. If you guys have any other suggestions, feel free to put them into the comments of the video. Or, of course, you can always send them to me via my Discord or my other. Brain just hurt. Hold on. Or my other social media. I don't know why I couldn't think of those words. The links to which will be in the description below, and let me know what you guys think about a secondary game. I'm also thinking, because I've recorded a few Monster Hunter clips of some of the more interesting finishes I've gotten in Monster Hunter, I might start posting those up. I'm not 100% sure yet, but it seems like a good idea. So let me know what you guys think about these ideas in the comments below. As per usual, I appreciate you coming and spending some of your free time with me. It means a lot to me. Like, comment, subscribe, hit up my social media, check out the description, check out other videos, tell your friends about me. And I will catch you guys in another video. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.